Hi, this question addresses a Common Core Geometry Standard GCB5, and I think you should pause the video, make yourself familiar with the question, label the diagram, and attempt to solve it on your own before you go for this recording. Okay, so the first step is always working with the keywords, and as I begin to make myself familiar with this question, I keep a list of information in the column given. So the radius of this circle is 8. Circle O means that O is the center of it and lies on the diameter, which makes AD the diameter, and OA, OB, and OD the radii. This information should be labeled on the diagram right away, and it's a good rule of thumb to always keep track of your diameter. So I'll write that information right next to it, to the given. In addition to this, we have the fact that BA is equal to OD. That fact also should be on the diagram. And since BA is congruent to OD, who we now know is a radius, then we have all 4 segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, who are equal. We will continue reading the question and identify that the given is over, and what's to find is an area of a sector B or A. It's important to identify that sector. Please recognize that it's now marked, no purple dots. And what is important is that angle BOA now forms a triangle with all equal sides, which makes it, of course, an equilateral triangle, which, it's important for us to notice, means that in that triangle, all the 3 angles are equal to 60 degrees. If you have no idea how to begin any question, always search for keywords, because generally they have either a rule or a formula that describe their relationships with elements given on the diagram. So sector is the key word that my mind focused on, and I'm beginning right in the fact of an area of a sector, recalling that sector is a part of the entire circle. So if I am aware of where the area of a circle is, and I can find its part, multiply these two, then that will describe the area of a sector. This means that I can continue with the substitution. Area of any circle is pi r squared, and to describe part of a circle that intercepts my sector, this purple one, recognize the measure of a central angle, in our case BOA, that intercepts this sector. So I know the full circle would be 360, and just a few minutes ago we've discussed why the central angle will equal to 60 degrees. So I will put it into the fraction that describes my part of a circle, 60 degrees. We know that radius, carefully substituting it separately into the formula, radius is 8, and therefore 64 pi is a term that describes, or a factor that describes, our area. So area of a sector, BOA, is represented by this expression. I would like to simplify this expression because this form would not be acceptable for the answer. And therefore I will continue applying my knowledge of using multiplication of fractions, top by the top, bottom by the bottom, where the bottom of pi 64 is 1, and so that's how I will be able to rewrite it. I now can multiply my 60 and 64, And I can simplify this fraction. So as you could tell, a little algebra is involved here, and it's important you take your time to show all the steps one after another on the paper before you actually take your calculator. The result that I received is now simplified and is in terms of pi. Don't forget to write pi as a part of the solution because the number itself is supposed to be multiplied by 3-ish to get your final answer as a decimal. I simplified it in this case and rounded to the nearest 10 square unit.